Thank you so much, Issam, for joining us here. And you're here at Abu Dhabi Art Fair. Do you want to just talk to us about your work?
My work is in this particular location in the Gateway exhibition is to do with migration. In our time, migration is looked as something that is frowned upon, as something a negative thing. But actually the history of a human creativity is to do with migration.
Lovely.
Trees migrate, seeds migrate, ideas migrate, and people migrate, even boxes. As you see, that is the cardboard boxes migrate. So the whole idea of this particular piece, it is a wall made out of cardboard boxes that is I constructed, and I found them in this particular place in the first day. So it was not my plan.
Oh, fantastic.
At all. So it was actually painted gray, and I said, I don't want anything clean. It has to be something very spontaneous.
Hello, everyone. And today we are going to be speaking all about Abu Dhabi art.
And we're going to be chatting specifically about the artists that caught our eye.
This is Culture Bites coming to you from the National News. I'm Enas Refaei.
And I'm Farah Andrews.
And if you're new to this channel, please stay with us. Join us on this journey of discovering art and culture with a little focus on the UAE.
And you can like and subscribe over on YouTube so that you can see our episodes each week when they drop.
Hi.
Hey, it's a busy old week, isn't it?
It's a really busy time. Last night we were out and about at Abu Dhabi Art.
It was lovely. Such a nice week for Abu Dhabi. Such a busy week. Lots of kind of incredible displays of creativity and an awful lot coming together in one space.
Yes, there's lots and lots going on. So let's unpack the first thing we're going to speak about today,
right,
which is the actual nuts and bolts of Abu Dhabi Art.
It is, this year it's in its 17th edition over at Manor Al Sadia, and it is running from now until November 23rd. So this year is a very significant year because this is the last year that it is going to be Abu Dhabi Art as Abu Dhabi Art. Next year it's going to be Freeze Abu Dhabi, which is extremely exciting. But it does make this year feel quite special. And I really do feel like they're going out with a bang.
That is exactly what they said to us. We did speak to Diala, who is the director of Abu Dhabi Art, on the episode before this one. So if you want to catch a little bit more about the thoughts and aspirations of the actual art fair from behind the scenes, do try and catch that episode. But today we're going to be talking about the artists themselves.
Yeah, so we went down there, we had a little nosy around, we loved it, and you had a very interesting conversation.
Yes, I spoke to Syrian artist but Cambridge-based Issam Kourbaj, who was just a fascinating man. I really enjoyed our conversation, and we spoke a lot about migration and what it means for people who move around or are forced to move around and how that has impacted his art. So take a listen. Thank you so much, Issam, for joining us here. And you're here at Abu Dhabi Art Fair. Do you want to just talk to us about your work?
My work is in this particular location in the Gateway exhibition is to do with migration. In our time, migration is looked as something that is frowned upon, as something a negative thing. But actually the history of a human creativity is to do with migration.
Lovely.
Trees migrate, seeds migrate, ideas migrate, and people migrate, even boxes. As you see, that is the cardboard boxes migrate. So the whole idea of this particular piece, it is a wall made out of cardboard boxes that is I constructed, and I found them in this particular place in the first day. So it was not my plan.
Oh, fantastic.
At all. So it was actually painted gray, and I said, I don't want anything clean. It has to be something very spontaneous. So I constructed the workers to make the cardboard. And as you will notice, that is the cardboard themselves. You will see homes are us.
Yeah.
So we carry our home with us. Is it actually underneath our feet? Is it in our head? Is it behind our skin? Is it in front of our skin? It is maybe all of the above. So each time I deal with the question of migration, it's the material, the agency of the material has to tell the story. Do you see what I'm saying?
I love it. I
Yes.
love it. And I love the spontaneity of this piece. It's also huge.
Yes.
Was it always in your plan to make it so big?
Not at all. When I was contacted, I said it is the whole exhibition about migration. And I said, look, what about this artwork? So I discussed it with the curator, and I was given the proportion of this wall, and I plan it. I just roughly speaking plan where things are going to be, but I didn't know what is the wall will look like. When they showed me it online, I said, leave it as raw as possible, unfinished, unglossy, all what the fair is not about. So, and I really like the idea that is you need to make sure that it's not, we are different, and I think we need to celebrate the differences. So this is my celebration of the differences.
And it's such an important topic at such an important time when there's lots of discussions happening about migration. I want to go back to the spontaneity of this piece. Do you always work like that? Is that an Issam normal?
Yes, it is in my DNA. I come from fine art, architecture, and theater design in 3 languages in 3 different countries. And the idea that is, I see something, and it is by investing time listening to it, it comes back to me. So, for example, one of the first pieces in Arabic, I don't know how much you know Arabic, we have what is called Bayt al-Rahm. So our first home is the womb. This is our first migration. So the first piece in that, it is a pregnant tummy, which is, we are all immigrant. And this is why I feel that is life is to do with that migration quality. And my second piece is part of my artwork was collected by the British Museum because they had this project with 100 objects as part of the history of the world, and they wanted to choose 101 objects, and they chose my piece. So the boats are you see there is boats inside that book.
Yeah.
You see that book?
Yeah.
So that book is to do history of the world in 100 objects. My boat is the 101, and I really wanted to illustrate it. So I went through it.
It's really beautiful. I love your artwork. This is fantastic. But it's not the only thing you do.
No.
You're also here working with a whole group of artists.
Yes.
Beyond emerging artists. Do you want to tell us about this collection?
Yes. So when I was contacted by Art Abu Dhabi, and they wanted me to do something with the Beyond Emerging Artists, and it just happened to be that is I am commissioned to do something in Elaine. I said, let me hold it until I visit Elaine and see what it looks like. And then when I arrived there, and I just was so immersed in this idea of the word in Arabic, Elaine is this, but equally Elaine is the will, is the water, is the source. So I said, how about if I will ask for the first time these artists to do the starting point is what is there in Elaine. And the idea that is there is archaeology, there is time, there is vegetation, there is water, there is air, there is dynamics of a totally different dynamics to what's happening in another part of. So I said to them when I was choosing them, when I interviewed them, look, I work very hard, I work very spontaneously. I would like you to allow yourself to play and to take risk. This is the only 2 things I'm not asking very much. So, and would you accept that? They said yes. So we started. So I went with them the second visit, and they visited the city. And I said, I don't want to give you more than the city as your starting point. And what would you respond to these themes that we were discussing? So they started sending me their proposal. I developed it with them, and all these months conversation and stretching and thinking, and it's what a beautiful crescendo of what is this conversation materially, conceptually, and you could see there is poetry to their work that is I'm really interested in. So poetry for me is very important.
I love this. I love the idea as well that you've helped them create this thing. Is there anything or any piece that really stood out or that you found quite shocking, their interpretation of the brief?
It is actually, I was really very interested in their visual voice. I didn't want to label them in any form. I said, look, I am choosing you because I have seen something on you. there is a thread linking them together, but there is equally they have their own visual voice. And I said I would like you to celebrate both
Nice.
your individuality, your individual self, and your group self. So I would like you to have these discussions. So part of my mentoring is to gather them together and we speak to each other. What surprised me really it's their sensitivity to the space, to the color, their sensitivity to the light, to even when it came to the final installation, their willingness that we don't need to exhibit everything. That actually quite a very big thing is, and if you'll notice, I hope you will see the way how it's quite a, you will not go through their exhibition without remembering it. And I really like that. I already have seen some of the previous exhibitions, but I know that is previous beyond emerging artists, nothing wrong with it, but it was designed only for the fair. But having a piece that is in Al Ain and in Manarat Sadiyat, they have a conversation from distance. So what you will see in Al Ain is actually an echo of what is happening here. And what's happening here is an echo of what's happening here. So there is a bridge between these two cities.
That is beautiful. And I think that's what we're all into art because of. It brings people together. It makes people feel like they're part of a community and there's a shared conversation. So you're here today, Abu Dhabi Art. Is there any pieces as well that you're excited to see or anything that you've seen that has really stood out?
I feel that actually what is the magic about installing, I really love the idea that it is you are witnessing the process and the process really interesting. And I have seen these galleries just, it's almost like developing a photograph in front of your eyes. It's just growing. And today the photograph is printed and now everybody is looking at this photograph. And I really enjoy that.
Oh, what a lovely thing to end on. Thank you so much, Issam, for speaking to us.
My pleasure.
And we're back.
We're back. And the next thing I want us to take a look at is one of the pieces that really caught my eye. So I'm lucky enough to have been down there already twice this week. And when I went down there the first time, I saw this really interesting piece that was artwork that really appealed to multiple senses. It's called Cooking from a Migrant Memory, Iteration 2. By Pabalate and Alexis Convento. They are two Filipino artists and they have created this work that draws in memories from Ju's mother's recipe book, which was also kind of her journal. And they have created this artwork that is both visually impactful but also interactive because you can eat it.
You can eat it.
So let's have a little listen to what Ju had to say about the work, and you might even see me sampling it.
Tell us about the inspiration for your work. This is so unusual. It's food and art and an amazing story. So I want in your words, please, Jude.
Okay. So the tablescape is actually part of a new commission by Sa Tahanan Co. So the entire space that you're in right now is commissioned by the Sa Tahanan Co collective. We are a collective of Filipino artists from the diaspora. And essentially, Bernice, as well as Agustin, who are the curators, invited me to share my story of my mom's recipes. So the starting point of the tablescape is my mother's recipe books, which, so she migrated in Saudi Arabia in 1979. And throughout the years, essentially developed a series of recipes based on Filipino food, but also modified with the ingredients that were available in the previous decades.
And you've literally got some of her...
Yes, because her recipe books don't just act as recipes. In the next page, and this is something that I discovered after she passed away, it was also her journals.
Okay.
So it would intersect with each other. You'll have a recipe for chicken barbecue, and the next page it will be her musings about life, her thoughts about motherhood. Sometimes it would be her lamentations, her prayers,
That must have been so powerful to read.
It still is. Every
Yeah.
time I try to dig into the archive, it unearths a different side to her journey, and also just discovering who she is as a person beyond sort of the maternal aspect that she showed us. Her language of love has always been food. So for us to discover it and reinterpret it, and I was fortunate enough to be paired with an amazing culinary artist. Her name is Alexis Convento. So she's my co-collaborator for. She did all of the sculptures and the all of the elements you see before you. She also reinterpreted my mother's recipes into what you see here. So it's a real interesting journey of finding the right flavors that captures the memories, but also the feelings and the journey in between. Because as migrant workers, or I think more of like as Filipinos in the diaspora, it's not a linear journey of just say sacrifice or the language of care or labor. It's also about the joys and the highs of creating home, which is something that we captured with the pulveron, for example.
So
and
talk to
all
me
of
about
that.
the pulveron.
So the pulveron is actually made from flour, powdered milk, and sugar. It's something that my mom got obsessed with for quite some time. And she would actually make all of the kids and our cousins come together in the kitchen. It's almost ritualistic for us on the weekend to have to make our own pulveron with her. And that's something that we want to share with everyone in the fair as well.
So during the course of the fair, this is obviously going to be eaten down. The grains and the seeds are
Yes,
going to move.
it's going to evolve. It's I wouldn't say a commentary, but it definitely feels a lot like our journey as artists or as migrant workers. We're in. It's a lot of the in between. So it's sometimes life is full, and sometimes as it goes on, it evolves and it changes. It's a lot of that shifting sort of moments and emotions that we are trying to capture.
And apart from trying something delicious,
Yes.
what do you hope that people will come and take away from this piece?
I think at the base of it is to understand the culture. I think if that's the easiest entry point, to understand the culture and understand the journey. On a selfish personal note, for me, it's a celebration of my mom's journey and legacy as a migrant Filipino worker. So it means a lot for me that her story gets celebrated and reinterpreted and understood by others. It's also a matter of seeing that Filipino artists, creatives, and all of us have a story to share. I mean, you see us a lot, but have you heard us? So this is our way of telling our story, and hopefully, we're not just being heard, but our stories are being tasted in a new
And
light
reflected on.
and reflected on. Truly.
I feel I need to try it. So tell me, can you help me with the pulveron?
Of course, of course. So it's an interesting process because we had to adapt. Normally in the Philippines, we have a pulveron utensil.
Okay.
So there's an actual tool. Instead, we're using a falafel.
Falafel.
It's a falafel tool, which is a good replacement or substitute. So you just dig in, and then you need to compress it really well so that the mold sticks. And then once you have that, you take a doily, and then it basically creates the mold.
Can I try this one?
Are you feeling adventurous tonight? Okay.
I'll try this one.
Yeah.
Instead of embarrassing myself on camera.
Not at all. If you want, just fold it because it will break.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. It's a bit of a one bite situation. Thoughts?
It's like a biscuit.
It's like a biscuit.
It's
Yes.
a crumbly biscuit. It's so delicious. And thank you so much for giving us a
Of
little
course.
taste of your mother's love. It's so nice.
And welcome back now. We're back in the studios for recommendation time.
It is recommendation time. My recommendation this week is maybe a little bit of a self-promotion. Will you indulge me?
Please do.
So next week we are kicking off something extremely exciting over here at the National. We are kicking off something called the Arts Edit Live, which is going to be a series of regular online conversations over on Zoom, where we talk about the arts world primarily here in the UAE, but also kind of thinking about, just the creative scene in general. So the first one is going to be next Thursday. And the title is Unpacking the Growth of the UAE's Cultural Scene. It's a webinar. It's going to be hosted by my colleague, William Malali. I'm going to be speaking on it, but we are joined by Sultan Sood Al-Qasimi, the founder of Bajil Art Foundation, and also Leila Bimbrek, who is the director of the National Pavilion UAE. They are two very significant names in the regional art scene, so I can't wait for that conversation.
That's so exciting. What a great thing to bring together is conversations and community.
There'll be a little link in the show notes for how you can sign up for that webinar, and I hope to see a lot of you there.
Nice. I like it a lot. I am going to take away from the art and go more into like documentaries and news. As we know, lots and lots of news going on always in my life. But yeah, I stumbled across an old documentary that was made on Ghislaine Maxwell called Filthy Rich. At a bit more of a different, this is very left ball for this conversation, but really interesting, insightful into the woman who's been at the heart of the Epstein trials at the moment.
Quite a timely watch for you there.
Yeah, very timely. There's a lot going on, and it's on Netflix, so you can catch it. I think it's a couple of years old at least. But again, like I just love this the way they build up the socialite and then the way they bring the socialite down. So do check it out if you're interested.
What's
in
it
that
called?
kind of
Filthy
thing.
Rich?
Yeah, Ghislaine Maxwell, Filthy Rich.
I will be watching.
Yeah. Anyway, that is it for today. Thank you so much for listening. And if you have enjoyed this episode, please do like and subscribe.
You can watch us over on YouTube, on the National News Channel, and catch us over on Instagram at The National Arts. Give us a follow, and we'll see you next week for our 100th episode.
Oh my goodness, it's 100.
It's the big 100 next year.
Our birthday. Bye.
Bye.